Michigan head coach, Coach Howard, joining us on the program as they hook up with the winner of Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern. That'll be Saturday at 3 Eastern. Coach, I know you're from Chicago. Do you care about the Chicago Bears quarterbacking situation now that Andy Dalton is there and you missed out on Russell Wilson?
Hey, what's up, Dan? First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me on your show. To answer your question, yes, I do care about the Chicago Bears and what's happening with our quarterback situation. I'm the biggest Bears fan there is, and I'm following it closely. No offense to the quarterbacks that are there under contract, but the Russell Wilson situation sounds very, very interesting.
Now you got Andy Dalton instead of Russell Wilson. When are you guys going to get a quarter? You think you get a good quarterback in your lifetime, Juwan?
Well, we have a good quarterback. You know, Mitch is a good quarterback. Andy Dalton's a good quarterback. Nick Foles is a good quarterback. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl quarterback.
I'm talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hall of Fame quarterback, that's still to be, determined. Russell, like I said, it sounds interesting. He's truly looking at a Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio appearance.
Do you practice at all with your team?
No. I don't practice. I don't play basketball, man. I let that go.
When's the last time you played?
I would say maybe 4 years ago when I was an assistant with the Miami Heat, and it was a summertime. And Hassan Whiteside was the only big, and we didn't have anyone to guard him. And we only had 7 guys. So just all hands on deck, do whatever we can to help Hassan get a good workout. I played 4-on-4 with the guys, and I guarded Hassan Whiteside. Now, no offense to Hassan, and he may tell you a different story, but our team won, and I had a huge impact on the game. Huge.
Do you remember your stats from that game? You probably do, don't you?
Yeah, you always remember your last game stats.
Do you remember your welcome to the NBA moment?
Yes, I do. I remember my first shot it got blocked by Dino Roger. I was going to a bag down crab dribble, and I'm getting ready to go into my move, and Dino Rogers just sat on it, and I turned to give him a shoulder fake, and I tried to raise and shoot it, and he blocked the shot. And I was like, wow, welcome to the NBA, young fella.
Yeah, but Dino couldn't jump, though, Juwan.
And Juwan couldn't jump either. I make 2 of us.
What do your kids say when they see you play any of the highlights?
Well, they do say, like, okay, Dad, well, you was a bucket getter. Okay, you had a little talent. You had some skill. They didn't get a chance to really watch me play until the end of my career. So they do not quite know the impact that I had on the NBA or in college. And, luckily that there's some folks out there that's still saving some video where they're able to see it, because back then we had VCRs.
But the Fab Five gives you immortality, Juwan.
It helps. The Fab Five documentary helped a little bit too. It gave me a little street cred.
How close was the Fab Five to not happening?
Very close.
Because you were kind of recruiting everybody, weren't you?
Correct. If you go back to my senior in high school, and no, actually go back further than that. My junior year in high school, and Illinois was the front runner. And the University of Illinois at that time was Coach Lou Olson, and I used to always every summer go to team camp at the University of Illinois, and Jimmy Collins was the lead recruiter. So Illinois got into a situation with Bruce Pearl, who was an assistant with Iowa, and there was a tape conversation with Deion Thomas, a recruit out of Chicago, Illinois area. And that situation sort of put a little damper on the plans for me to attend Illinois, because my senior year, I was waiting to see what happened with the NCAA and Illinois, if they were going to get any type of violations or whatever. And November was the time that I was going to commit. And Michigan moved into being the front runner. And then when I committed to the University of Michigan, I started to recruit other players like Jimmy King and I also started to recruit Chris Webber extremely hard. And I can't take credit for Ray Jackson. He was already committed to the University of Michigan. But I can truly take credit for Jimmy and Chris. And Chris did a lot of recruiting with Jalen.
And then, well, Chris was looking at Duke, wasn't he?
Chris was looking at Duke and Michigan State.
Oh, well, Izzo said that that's the recruit that made him cry. Like, he lost Weber, and he said that's the one that hurt him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you know as a coach where you're recruiting and somebody can break your heart.
Yeah, but I haven't cried yet.
It's early though. It's
I said yet. Yeah, the key word I said yes.
If I told you 3 years ago your team would be a number 1 seed, you'd be coaching Michigan, be a number 1 seed, what would you have said?
Well, I would say, Dan, we got a lot of work to do. You got to take one game at a time.
But you had a hard time. You wanted to coach in the NBA. You and Patrick Ewing, you were kind of hoping to get a head coaching job, and then
that was the goal. As I was as an assistant with the Heat, the goal was developing, and which Eric Spoelstra did, and Pat Riley, David Fisdale, Keith Smart, Dan Craig, Chris Quinn, all those guys I was learning from, and they were helping me to develop to become a head coach someday. And give a lot of credit to Spo. He really was grooming me to someday be a head coach in the NBA. And that time, it was like the last 2 years before I took the Michigan job. I went on interviews to interview for head jobs with the NBA team. But I was always asked the question from family and friends if I ever wanted to coach college, would I? And my answer was always Michigan. If that job ever came available, that's the only school I would coach. Now, it's a dream job. My dream came true.
Still have a goal to coach in the NBA?
I never even thought about that. That's the past now.
Really?
I'm so locked in to Michigan.
Good.
I love this place. I'm enjoying my experience. I'm growing each and every day, growing with my staff to become a better coach.
I tune in to the game against Maryland, and that's when the bench is cleared. I had no idea what happened there. Didn't know until a few minutes after there. Have you watched that video of what happened?
Oh, yeah, I watched the video because I actually wanted to watch it right after I addressed the team, apologized to the team, and I wanted to go back and see like how it all happened. And I knew how it happened, but
it's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, I mean, I was totally stunned, and I was also disappointed in how I reacted because as the leader of this team, I felt that I should have did a better job of controlling my emotions.
Well, as you said, look, it's take your notes. It's in the past. I don't want to talk about this anymore with, your conversation with Coach Turgeon. But, your team rallies around you, too, which is the most important part because they pick you up. And, same thing with Patrick Ewing. I mean, his team picked him up. They went 4 in a row in the Big East. Have you talked to Ewing this year?
Yeah, I reached out to him right away when I saw that they won the Big East championship, which is very hard to do in a tough conference. And, there were a lot of, I would say these experts, picking Ewing team to really fall out or not even make it that far. And Coach stepped up and his team, like you said, they rallied behind him. He prepared them and they went out and competed. And they competed every game, and I'm so happy for him. So I hit him up right away, and he hit me right back. Because, I don't know if you noticed or not, Dan, I played for Pat. He was an assistant coach with the Houston Rockets when Jeff Van Gundy was our head coach. And we had a staff of Thibodeau, also Steve Clifford and Pat, which was a hell of a staff, all head coaches. And Jeff Van Gundy was the head coach. And Pat and I have a great relationship.
What if I said that coaches have to play in the NCAA tournament? So you got to eat. Every team's coach has to play like 5 minutes. Like how would Michigan do against some of the other teams that you might be facing?
Well, I know we're on radio, and I have to be very careful with my words, but this is the competitor speaking here. I would just put it like this: we're not losing. We're not losing. And I have a lot of trust and belief in myself, and I still train, I still work out, but it's never basketball shape. But we're for competitors only. Anytime there's any coach that want to lace it up and play one-on-one, and I know Stackhouse, I know he's listening. He's probably the only one that I think that will give me a little bit of competition because I know he's in great shape. He plays pretty much every day.
You're not worried about Bryce Drew?
Stop. Stop.
Mark Few, you're not worried about?
Too little.
What about Ewing?
Too slow. That's my guy. That's my guy, man.
That's good. Do your players ask you about your Michael Jordan moment? Do they have they asked you about that? And what is your Michael Jordan moment?
Yeah, I've gotten a question just about a month ago after practice. Terrence Williams Jr. asked me a Michael Jordan question about the time playing in the Dome when Jordan was filming the movie Space Jam, and they saw some footage where I was playing and we were playing shirts and skins, and they asked about my relationship with Michael, and I talked about the brotherhood that we both share and how much I've learned from him. In his work ethic and watching while Michael was shooting the movie, he still was training for NBA season. Talked about how we played that night, every night, 5 days a week, pick up versus some high level talents and NBA ball players, all-stars, Hall of Famers, you name it. That's all I gave him. All the other stuff, man, I can't give him, man. I'm from Chicago. There's this famous word that they say, snitches get stitches.
But yeah, everybody has that moment where you go, oh, man, I'm guarding Jordan, or Jordan, he's going to say something to him. Like everybody had a Larry Bird moment that, Bird would say something to people. But did you have that moment with Jordan where you probably were in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Well, I recall the time when MJ was the president of the Washington Wizards. And I was a player on the Washington Wizards, and he practiced one day with us. He's done it more than once, but the first practice, I didn't know he was going to really practice. And, he got out there, and he still had an impact on the game. Was very effective out there, and he was talking some trash, doing the typical Michael thing. And he reminded us that he had beat us in the playoffs and swept us. I thought that was, he hit below the belt. Michael knows how to hit below the belt. He knows how to push the right buttons.
Wait, was that the LeBradford Smith game?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that was later.
You weren't there for that?
That was the first round when it was the Bulls championship team. They won it that year. And on my team, it was myself, Weber, George Mirasan, Rod Strickland, and Calbert Cheney.
Respectable five. Yeah.
We were a young group. We were very young.
C. Webb tells great stories about Jordan. He said that they showed up at the Chicago Stadium and Mike's sitting on you guys got off the bus?
Like I said, man, snitches get stitches, man. Some stories you just can't tell, man. You gotta let it go.
Come on. No,
I'm not telling that story. Nope.
Mike's smoking a cigar, sitting on a Lamborghini, and then he's like, who's got a guard? Who's going to guard me tonight? With some language attached to that, right?
Hey, I'll let Webb tell you that,
man. Hey, congrats on the season so far. A lot of fun. And I know you're not fully assembled there with your lineup, but good luck in the tournament.
Hey, Dan, I appreciate it, man. I see that cool shirt you have. So when you have time, you can just send me one of those T-shirts. Happy St. Patty's Day.
That's Happy Dan Patrick's Day.
That's dope.
Yeah. I'll send one out to you.
No doubt. Double X.
Double X. Happy Dan Patrick's Day. Good luck in the tournament. Thank you, Juwan. Great to talk to you.
Thank you always, man. Stay safe.
All right. Juwan Howard.